Okay, so I did not know the outcome of the Colts game, most likely, or I didn't watch the Colts game because I'm currently out of town. This video is pre-recorded like a week before it goes up, so yeah, when you're watching this, the Texans season is over or just a few minutes away from being over. So this video was requested by Greg P. Probably like about a month ago. He said, go down the list of Texans, their coaching staff, and give your opinion on them, whether they should stay or be gone, or fired or whatever. And that's what I'm gonna do. Since the Texans season's already over, it's time to take a look back at our team, and I'm gonna go ahead and start off with the coaching staff. Right off the bat, of course, we got the head coach, Bill O'Brien. I mean, I've been saying it all along. Bill O'Brien's got to stay here in Houston. The fact that people want him fired is absurd. I mean, you're putting up 30-plus points with your starting quarterback. I mean, before Week 17 started, the Texans had used 77 total players, which is an NFL record. Meaning, yeah, the Texans are probably the most injured team in NFL history. People say injuries are not an excuse, but injuries are an excuse. I think Bill O'Brien deserves a full season with Deshaun Watson, and it's not really more about Bill O'Brien. It's about Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson is the face of the franchise now. Whatever Deshaun wants is what he's going to get. I mean, and for all the people that are saying, well, Deshaun Watson can be good with any coach. I mean, no. Go take a look at, what's his name? David Carr up in Oakland, or over there in Oakland. Marcus Mariota over there in Tennessee. They're struggling. Why? Coaching. Coaching matters. Bill O'Brien with Deshaun Watson is a match made in heaven. Don't mess with it right now. If Bill O'Brien or if Deshaun Watson regresses next season, fire him. But for right now, keep him. Romeo Crennel. Okay, Ray asked me this like probably 3 months ago. He said, what does Romeo Crennel do? Yes, he's labeled as assistant head coach. But what does Romeo Crennel do? Because I, for one, and Ray also agrees, neither of us have ever seen Romeo Crennel on the sideline or Romeo Crennel up in the booth. So seriously, what does Romeo Crennel do? Listed as assistant head coach, but you don't ever see him anywhere. So, come on. I think Romeo Crennel should stay as a defensive coordinator. I mean, I'm one of those guys that believes don't fix what's not broken, and our defense wasn't broken. I mean, odds are Romeo Crennel would have at least been able to field a top 16 defense. I mean, Romeo Crennel is one of the best defensive coordinators of all time. No reason why he should be doing nothing. Put him to good use. Mike Vrabel, defensive coordinator. You guys know how I feel about this guy. But, to be fair, he has no secondary. This team is built on pass rushers. 3 of them, Watt, Merciless, and Clowney. 2 of them got hurt early on. And towards the end of the season, he was pretty much had a whole backup defensive line. So, can you really blame him? Yes. Fuck Mike Vrabel. He's got to go. Hopefully someone hires him. Larry Izzo, special teams coordinator. Our special team sucks, and I don't think this is a coordinator problem, because our special teams has always sucked. I just think it's a Rick Smith problem, honestly. Yes, I'm a Rick Smith supporter, but I think we gotta invest more on special teams players. And I'm not talking about kickers and punters. I'm talking about players that specialize in playing special teams. Special teams specialists. Like, not necessarily returners either, but people that get down the field quick and can tackle. I think we got to invest in a few of those, honestly. I think Larry Izzo should come back. Unless he get like some freaking badass. But, you know, I could care less about Larry Izzo. I think that's my thought on him. Brian Bell, assistant strength and conditioning coach. You guys know who this guy is. I mean, he's that big guy with dreads that's on the sidelines. Kind of looks like Jadeveon Clowney, like / Derek Newton. Yeah. You know, he looks cool, man. He looks really cool, but he's gone. He's got to go. He has got to go. Why? I mean, yeah, at some points injuries are bad luck, but come on, dude. Like, I think there comes a point where you have to ask yourself, is this bad luck or is the strength and conditioning coaches doing something wrong? You know? And I think O'Brien's really got to look at what they're doing and really evaluate them. I personally think he should be gone. Next guy, Jim Bernhardt. I mean, director of football research. What does this guy even do? On his bio it says he takes the advisory role to head coach O'Brien, assisting in all aspects of the game, preparation, management, and review both on and off the field. All aspects of the game. Preparation. To me, that sounds like practice. So he helps O'Brien out in practice. This is pretty much O'Brien's yes man, pretty much. I think he should be gone. Why? Well, again, players have been getting hurt a lot, and maybe it's because of the strength and conditioning coaches, but it could also be due to the practices. Maybe they're over practicing, you know, something like that. So why not fire the guy that helps O'Brien plan the practices and stuff like that? So I say he should be gone. Shane Bowen, defensive assistant. So this guy's pretty much just there. I could care less about him, really. John Butler, secondary coach. Okay, so John Butler. Okay, so remember last year, everyone was saying, "Oh, Mike Vrabel could be the next best defensive coordinator." Well, John Butler was also in that conversation for, you know, being a defensive coordinator elsewhere. I think he also, or someone wanted to interview him for a spot, but he said no. And John Butler, I mean, what has he really done? I mean, AJ Boye, but other than that, I mean, Joseph was already established. Most safeties he's gotten have already been established besides Andre Howe. Andre Howe really isn't all that good. Corey Moore isn't all that good. Curtis Drummond isn't good. Kevin Johnson was good up until the injuries caught up to him. So really, what has he done? And I can't really blame him much, because I mean, he has Kareem Jackson. Injuries caught up to, what's his name, Kevin Johnson. Jonathan Joseph got old. AJ Boye, the guy, I give him credit for developing, fucking decided to go to Jacksonville. So I mean, I can't blame him. I think he deserves another chance, but Rick Smith needs to get him a secondary for him to actually leave his mark on the team. Doug Coleman, assistant special teams coordinator. I mean, this guy helps out Larry Izzo. Again, I think the Texans need to invest on special teams. I don't think it's a coaching problem, because we've had like, what, 3 coaches already these past, what, let's just say 6 years, and the problems persist. So really don't give a damn about this guy. Mike Devlin, offensive line coach. Who has this guy really developed? You can say Ben Jones, Brandon Brooks, and Derek Newton, but I think this guy had nothing to do with them, because this guy came in during O'Brien's second year, so by the time he got here, Brooks, Jones, and what's his name, Newton, were already developed by the guy that was there previously. And then, of course, Dwayne Brown was already Dwayne Brown. I mean, Greg Manx is pretty decent. Suafilo, yeah. Jeff Allen, Nick Martin. I mean, that's pretty much it. Nick Martin. And I think that says more about Nick Martin than it does about Mike Devlin. So I think Mike Devlin's got to go. He's got to go. I'm yet to see him develop a single player. You can make an argument for Greg Max. You could even make an argument for Nick Martin. But everyone else out there has been mediocre. And again, it could be a personnel problem rather than a coaching problem. But still, the O-line's been an issue for 2 years. So, get out of here. Craig Fitzgerald, head strength and conditioning coach. Get him out of here. Again, injuries, and you've got to really evaluate the team or your coaching staff in that aspect or in that department. And I think Craig Fitzgerald's got to go, because these injuries this season, there's got to be some. If it's bad luck, then someone freaking, you got to go see a witch doctor. Seriously, if you think it's bad luck, I think possibly, or there's a good chance, it's got to do more with strength and conditioning than it does with bad luck. Because that's too much, man. Too much. Next guy, Ian Jones, assistant strength and conditioning coach. Later, bitch. Tim Kelly, tight ends. Fedorowicz developed pretty well. Fedorowicz got hurt a lot. I can't really blame him on that with the concussions. Steven Anderson's up and down. What's his name? Ryan Griffin is, I guess, average at best. I mean, I could really care less about this guy. Maybe if he had better personnel or better stuff to work with. Maybe, because if Fedorowicz wouldn't have gotten hurt, Fedorowicz would be a solid tight end, above average. But, you know, he got hurt. So, again, strength and conditioning coaches, get the hell out of here. Anyways, next guy, Bobby King, linebackers. Keep them. Why? 2 guys. Dylan Cole, Zach Cunningham. In the past, Mike Vrabel was the linebacker coach, or these last 3 seasons, Mike Vrabel had been the linebacker coach, and he was responsible for Clowney, Merciless, and McKinney. Well, Vrabel's now focusing on the whole defense, so Bobby King has done a good job of bringing in Dylan Cole and Zach Cunningham. I say you keep them. Charles London, running backs. I think he does a good job. I think he should stay. I mean, Lamar Miller can't really do much, because, I mean, the line. But he's done a good job with Alfred Blue, Tyler Irvin, in the limited time he was there. Even though Tyler Irvin was pretty much used more as a wide receiver. Of course, Deontay Foreman was finally coming into his own before he got hurt. So I think Charles London should stay. Anthony Midget, assistant secondary. I could really care less about him. He's an assistant. Pat O'Hara, offensive assistant / quarterbacks. Keep him. Why? Deshaun Watson. I mean, do not mess with anything that has to do with Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson was doing just fine. So, he stays. John Perry, wide receivers. DeAndre Hopkins, Will Fuller, Braxton Miller finally doing some stuff. Bruce Ellington. He stays. Sean Ryan, quarterbacks. Again, anything that has to do with Deshaun Watson, you leave the same. Because why? Deshaun Watson wasn't broken. He was doing amazing. So do not fix what's not broken. Anthony Weaver, defensive line coach. Oh, you absolutely have to keep him, man. Why? Of course, Watt goes down, DJ Reader goes down, Covington goes down, and what do the Texans do? The defensive line stops the run. That's all Anthony Weaver right there, man. The guy does a great job of developing these run-stopping defensive linemen, so yeah, I'd say you got to keep him. I think defensive line is probably one of our best positions we have depth-wise. I think we could probably use a little bit more pass rushers, but run-stopping wise, man, this guy does a great job of getting his guys ready. Next, we got Will Lawing, offensive assistant / offensive line assistant. Again, one of those guys I could really care less about. Wouldn't care if he were gone, wouldn't care if he'd stay. So, don't really care much about him. And the last guy, Wes Welker, offensive / special teams assistant. I don't care about him, but I do think he probably deserves some credit for the little flashes that Braxton Miller has shown and the play of Bruce Ennington in the slot. Because this guy was a slot receiver his whole career, so he knows the ups and downs. He's played in an offense like this before, so he knows everything about it. So, I mean, keep him around. So, yeah, those are my thoughts on the Texans coaching staff. And by the looks of it, I'd say roughly, maybe 40%, not even 40, like 35% of them got to go. And most of that chunk comes from the strength and conditioning area for obvious reasons, injuries. Anyways, that's all I have for you guys today. You guys yourself comment down below what you guys think of these coaches or this coaching staff, or anyone in particular that you think has to go, or someone we actually absolutely have to keep. And yeah, thank you for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.